December 14, 2022. Backyard. The car fills with silence as the driver approaches their gated, secluded house. Amongst the children in the car, there appears to be a white Florence coffin. You could see the tensed up postures of everyone in the car, and that mixed with sad expression filled the car. Approaching the house is a heavily secured gate needing facial recognition to open. The Hong family enters the house, each facial expression different from one another. Dressed head to toe in all black, their expressions could all be seemingly matched to the feeling of the funeral. Each member of the family slowly approached the backyard. The funeral appeared to be a high security, only having members of the Hong family attend. The family watches as their dead mother gets transferred out of a bag and placed inside her coffin. Her lifeless body faces them. Her lifeless figure was seen inside the coffin. Her brown-colored medium-length hair sprawled on the velvet cushion inside, and her gray, colorless lips faced the gray clouds. Matching in color, her body lies on the coffin, giving the family one last time to see her body. As cruel as it may sound, the guards take out gasoline and a match. The family watches as the coffin burns with her mother's body in it.
I can't believe we're actually doing this. This is gross. Why can't we just have a regular funeral?
Richard had no answer to this. He believed that burning her inside a coffin would be better than burning her on wet grass. Almost trying to justify his actions, he believed burning her body would give her a clear pathway to heaven.
She'll be able to have a clear path to heaven this way.
Who told you that? What kind of theories do you have?
Father, I can't watch this anymore. This is just too much. Stay.
Their mother's body slowly disappeared in the fire, leaving a pile of gray ashes. Dust and grief filled the air. Her ashes were placed carefully in a large white porcelain vase. As the guards start approaching their way out of the house, they dropped off the vase to Richard.
I can't believe she's going.
The children all turn to look at Richard, who is uncontrollably crying. Having a loss of words to say, none is spoken now. Their eyes all wander everywhere, but their father soon landed on each other.
Hey, what should we do about father? He doesn't seem to be handling this too well. Let's just leave him alone. He needs the space more than us anyway.
Scene 2, December 14, 2022, inside the Hong house. After witnessing the tragic event, Richard is the first one to move. He passed his children walking straight back into the house. As the children all watch him leave, he doesn't turn his back once. He makes his way up the stairs, leaving the children to walk back into the house alone.
Richard Gu, head of the family, 40 years old. A seemingly weak expression is plastered all over his face the whole time, with discolored lips and lifeless eyes. His tall, scrawny, weak physique makes him seem as if he hasn't eaten in a while. Indulged in his work, he has never given his kids as much attention as he would have liked to. Richard headed up the stairway to enter his bedroom, leaving the three kids alone. Hard wind crashing onto the trees filled the void of silence as all three kids stand in the open, empty seeming room. Ella Gu is 17 years old. As opposed to her other siblings, her father isn't Richard, daughter of Linda Newt and Greg Gu. Ella has a slim physique with long, straight black hair that reaches to her waist. Her same old cold, facialless expression is plastered on her face. Never a single change to her expression. In addition to Ella, her half-sister Stephanie remains the same as well. Stephanie Hong is 13 years old, twin of William and daughter of Richard. Stephanie stands at an average height of 5'5" and has curly black hair that reaches past her shoulders. Dressed top to bottom with expensive jewelry and expensive items. She appears to have a blank expression plastered on her face. Majority of the time she spends on her phone, she tries to stay out of family conflicts. Her twin brother, on the other hand, doesn't seem like his sister. William Hong, twin brother of Stephanie and son of Richard. William, unlike his sisters, grew up with unconditional love from his parents. William is around the same height as his twin sister, Stephanie. His dark black side-swept hair covers the top of his forehead. Dressed exquisitely in a full black suit, you could see his red puffed-up eyes, swollen to the point where it hurts to keep them open. The visible dried stained tears on his face, tears in his eyes that couldn't be forced to come down. He cried so much to the point where he couldn't cry any longer. He loved his mother and was the only kid in the family that did.
It was a Wednesday afternoon, the sky filled with gray clouds, the after effect of the pouring rain that occurred an hour ago. After witnessing their mother's body being burned, these three kids all walked back into the house. None of them seemed like they would talk. They aren't as close as siblings usually are. They are all dressed top to bottom with expensive looking clothes and accessories. A path of muddy shoe prints along the clean, sparkly marble floor is left behind.
I'm glad she died.
Oh my god, you can't say that. It's so disrespectful.
Shut up, William. We all have different experiences. You don't even understand what I have to go through. Exactly, brother. Maybe from that dinner that shut up.
No one was talking.
Maybe you should look in the mirror and see your real.
You're just jealous mom and dad never loved you. Stay mad at me.
Both of you shut up. You're both annoying and stupid.
Voice echoed through the vacant, silent house and gathered his attention of Richard as he slowly approached the top of the staircase.
3, 2, 1, go.
For once in your life, can you guys not argue? I'm honestly so tired. Mom just passed away. Please just let me have a moment of peace.
His loud voice echoed through the house, loud enough to send chills down the children's bodies. His loud, echoed voice seemed to stop the siblings' conversation. As Richard approached the children downstairs, he states a strong message to them.
Also, keep this a secret. Your mother's death never happened. Go up to your room right now.
As William and Stephanie walk up the stairs, Ella follows them behind, but is just seconds stopped by Richard.
Especially you. Don't you dare go telling anyone about what happened today.
Nonsense. You think I really care that much about you two? Make me laugh.
Scene 3, December 19th, 2022. Richard's room, 9:23 a.m. Morning arrived. The cold, dull sky peeked in through the heavily curtained room of Richard's. The gloomy weather gave a depressing feeling for Richard. He dreads waking up each morning. There was a sudden gentle knocks on the door.
Mother, are you awake? Mother, are you awake? Yes, I am.
William approaches the room. He takes a long look at the bedroom. The curtains fully covered, the window, and dirty clothes were thrown everywhere around the room. As he slowly eyes the room, his eyes eventually meet his father's eyes.
Dad, oh my god, what is wrong with you? What is going on here?
William observed as his father's figure had decreased significantly. Rib cage was showing through his skin, eyes as dull as the gray, cloudy weather.
Before you ask, I am fine. This is normal.
William could see that his father was avoiding all eye contact. While pacing around the dirty room, William could tell he was lying.
Do you honestly think I'm fucking stupid? I understand that mother's death affected you. It affected all of us. We can't just sit in your room all day and starve. But what happens if you leave us? Who can we rely on? Please, for once, think about the rest of the family. You're the only one who thinks this. Everyone else couldn't care less. If something were to happen, that's because I'm the only one that cares about your well-being. Just leave the room. Tell one of the servants to bring me a pillow.
Following down the stairs, you can find the two sisters in the kitchen.
I hope Elder doesn't die. I really need him to stay around. Does he really expect me to work for the rest of my life? Stop being such a spoiled brat and learn to work for yourself. No pain, no gain. And if life was that easy, then everybody would be doing that. Whatever. You can really wonder what's like.
Before Ella could counter against that, William walks into the kitchen.
What the fuck is going on?
Mind your own business.
Whatever. I guess I'm the only one trying to keep father alive.
William fixes up a plate for his father. As he approaches the stairway, a sudden knock is heard.
Okay, scene 4, living room, 10 a.m. The sudden voice knocked on the door, which gathered the attention of all three kids. Who could it be? The house was heavily secured. Could this person have managed to get through all of it? Increasing knocks gathered the attention of Richard. As Richard approaches the door, he opens it with an annoyed expression.
God, if it isn't you. Hey, Richard. What are you doing here? I thought I made it clear that you weren't allowed near my family.
The three kids stand by the front door staring at the stranger. They are as puzzled as to who this strange person may be.
Did you expect me just to not arrive even after Linda had died? I have to pay my respects to her since I wasn't able to attend her funeral.
He hands Richard a white flower bouquet with a black wrap. His eyes slowly shifted away from Richard and onto the kids, and he suddenly met eye contact with Ella.
Is that you, Ella?
Excuse me, do I know you?
It's your father, Ella.
What? Mother told me he was dead, and now he is apparently on my front porch. Wow, I've been lied to.
Ella, let me explain.
Before Greg could even finish his sentence, Ella walked away and up the stairs. She didn't want to stand there any longer.
3, 2, 1.
Let me in, Richard. Let me at least see Linda one last time.
Too late.
Greg felt as if he heard those three words repeatedly in his mind. He was too late. Angry as he was, he barged into the house, marching his way to the backyard.
Are we just gonna let him in? He's just a stranger.
What are we gonna do about him?
I thought he was dead.
Is he going to stay with us? God, is he gonna go to this problem? Maybe he should explain to us instead of walking away like he does every time there's an issue.
Oh my god, is he outside with the vase? What if he steals the vase? What are we gonna do?
I couldn't care less. He can take the vase. Who knows, that vase being bad luck.
How can you say that? Our mother's remains are in that vase. The only thing left we have of our mother.
Scene 5, backyard, 10:35 a.m. After a while, Ella walks down from her room and enters the kitchen. On the other side of the massive window facing the kitchen lies Greg, sitting down with a vase. Ella stood by the counter, contemplating if she should go out and chat with him. After about 3 minutes debating with herself, she decides to head outside.
So what? You're my father?
So it is you, Ella.
Isn't this so funny? I thought you were dead. So what? Mother lied? You never died? You just didn't want to be in my life?
What? No, let me explain. It's not like I wanted to leave you. It's just I felt so trapped in this relationship I had with your mother. I got married so early in life, and that's just not what I wanted.
So, you should have tried to reach out to me and fill in your role. It's been 17 years and all of a sudden you want to pop up in my life.
It's not like that. I wanted to, believe me, but I couldn't.
Yeah, that's what everyone says.
Please, Ella, trust me.
Feeling frustrated, Ella didn't even want to give back a reply. She quickly left Greg outside. It was the same response that she had always heard. Greg quickly left the vase behind and tried catching up to Ella, but she was out of sight. He wandered the long hall, attempting to find Ella's room. He pushed a ground-looking door, revealing a massive bedroom. And as he was about to turn away, he made eye contact with the framed pictures. The room was filled with many framed pictures of Linda. Intrigued, he walked in to examine all the photos. As he took a glance around the room, he approached a suspicious-looking frame sitting on top of a shelf of a 6-feet-tall bookcase. He found the picture alluring and gathered it off the shelf to examine it closer, but to his surprise, the bookshelf swung wide open. It revealed a secret room with strange tools. As he stepped closer inside the room, photos of the family member were all up on a pinboard, and under that was a book on the floor. He picked it up, and to his surprise, it was a diary of William. Hidden inside the diary were mentions of his day. But as the page number increases, the diary becomes more twisted. Shocked by what he had just read, Shocked by what he had just read, Greg shakily closes the diary. A calm voice is heard behind him, giving him a jump scare.
What are you doing here?
What is this?
Stop
Scene
me.
6. Richard's study, 10:45 a.m. William runs out of the room and making his way into Richard's study. The sudden movement shocked Greg. Greg paced out of the room following William. As William slammed the door wide open, it scared Richard.
What are you doing? Please help me. Greg is crazy. He killed Mom. What? He killed Mother. I saw him writing in the diary.
What's going on?
I can't believe what you did. Stay away from me, you nasty, ugly murderer.
What? Is that true? Don't lie to him, William. You were the one that wrote it.
Father, it's right there in the diary. I saw what he wrote it.
What the fuck? Oh my god. that just happened?
I knew you were a trashy whore.
Oh my god, what happened, Dad?
What is wrong with you? Are you out of your mind? Do you really think it's all right to kill anyone you want?
He killed your mother. Did you seriously want to kill her around? I should have never let him inside the house. I put you all in danger. I'm sorry for that. From here on out, no one is allowed to leave the house. It is way too dangerous. No one else from this family can die.
That doesn't mean you can just kill anyone you want. Are you insane? You're going to keep us locked in here? As far as I know, it's more dangerous being here with a murderer.
Don't talk back to me. Don't even think of trying to escape either. Scene 7, December 16, 2022. Kitchen. The recent death of Greg had unexpectedly affected Ella. Realizing that all her family members were dead, she locked herself in her room for the past 2 days. She had no water or food, and her mental state had drastically decreased. She was mentally unstable, and the fact that she kept hearing laughter and commotions downstairs made it even worse. She thought it wasn't fair, how the twins and Richard could live a good life while she had to suffer. She felt alone. It drives Ella insane, and she becomes enraged with hatred for Richard. She made her way downstairs. As her footsteps approached the kitchen, all conversation had stopped, and all eyes were on her. Her figure was much like a skeleton, her face defined, with her dry, flaky lips. With anger in her eyes, she makes eye contact with Richard, and Richard only.
Yo, Ella, you good?
What are you doing, Ella? We haven't seen you in days. What are you doing? Are you out of your lives?
Oh my god!
What is wrong with you two? Can I honestly just have anything good for the rest of my life? Father had finally given me attention, now he's dead. What's actually wrong with this family? Everyone is dying.
Well, what are we gonna do with his body?
Scene 8, December 17, 2022, 8:02 p.m. As the sun sets down, the children make their way towards the backyard. As they reach their destination, a sudden wave of deja vu hits them. It wasn't so long ago that they burned their mother, and now they're back only 3 days after.
Isn't this funny? Father will always have these theories about by burning people don't get sent to heaven.
And what, you're gonna believe that theory?
No, I'm just saying, wouldn't it be funnier if we dug a hole for him? That way, in this theory, he would be trapped in this house forever.
Why not then?
The children all started to dig a hole. Without saying any condolences, they threw his body into the pit, covered it back up, and slowly walked away. Not a single tear was shed from them. Scene 9, Richard's vault, 9 p.m. The kids are making their way towards their father's study, all carrying a suitcase. They started slowly putting money into each of their suitcases. Filling their suitcases, they all had one last conversation.
Don't you think we'd have a better life without our messed up parents?
Maybe.
Who cares? It already happened.
They all walked out of the room, out of the house.